All right, welcome to Powderpuff, the sports podcast by the girls for the girls. It is a Thursday night, which we've stuck to Wednesday nights, but now we're switching over to Thursday nights as we get into more of the late fall and winter sports on your end with the girls. Has Azana started basketball yet?
Yes, she
What
did.
does she
This
think?
she loved it.
Good. Okay, good.
I got so much. She loved it. She had like the biggest smile on her face, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for it.
Yes.
So
Oh,
here
that's
we
so
go,
exciting.
basketball life. And
Because
the
who is she
day
playing through?
before, it was her school.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
I said it was the day before. She signed up the day before. She signed up on Monday, and she started on Tuesday. And I'm like, I threw the piece of paper away. You told me you didn't want to do it.
Right.
So she comes
Like she
running
was
to my
gonna.
car after school on Monday. And she's like, Mom, I want to play basketball, but I have to sign it right now and go give it to the teacher or go give it to the coach teacher. And
Yeah. Oh my
I'm, okay, hi, how are you? I
Right, right. Last
filled
minute
it out.
decisions.
Yeah. She's like,
Because is
okay.
she in fifth this year?
Hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because I remember, when I was in elementary school, like you could play sports for the school starting in fifth grade. Is it
That's, yep,
okay?
in sixth grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was the same, but yeah, that makes sense. Because below that, it's like do your own rec thing. You got it.
They have soccer and basketball this year, which is new. And
Okay.
then they get flag football and volleyball in the spring.
Mm-hmm. I think I know for sure that our school did volleyball and basketball. I don't know if they did flag football or anything like that, but we were a really small school. We were like a private school, and every class only had like 24 kids.
Mm, okay.
So, yeah. If you can see in the picture, we have a furry four-legged co-host this evening. I forced Ghost out of her coziness into this chair that she is far too big for. She got a bath tonight, and
Oh,
then we played with her rope, and then I made like chicken drumstick. It's one of my favorite fall things. It's like marinated, like dry rub marinated chicken drumsticks, and then you like stick them in oil, like just a thin coating with like mushrooms and onions and potatoes, and just stick it in the oven and let all the juices combine for like an hour, and then you're good to go. And it's one of my favorite things. It's so good. So she got to eat the like any chicken we didn't get off the bones. She got to eat it off of that. She was very happy. But and she'll be really happy this weekend because I've decided. So the half marathon is on Sunday. And
it's
I'm
already. Are you doing
yeah,
it?
yeah,
So you're going to be in Lincoln.
I'm gonna be in Lincoln on Sunday.
Oh, well, perfect. We don't have to be there till 1 o'clock at my mom's. I guess we know what we're doing before that.
Heck yes.
Time
Yes.
does it start?
The race starts at 8:30. Um, which means I should, in theory, be crossing the finish line about 11 a.m.
Okay.
Because yeah, that's right. Because last year I ran it in 2:35. This year I'm trying to run it just under 2:35. So
God, I feel like it came up so quickly. I know we've
it
been talking about it, but it's
yeah.
already Sunday. I have your
It
I have your location. I'm gonna pop up when you least expect it. You don't know where
like you did
my
last year.
place
It was the best. It was so fun. But yeah, so what I'm planning on doing is getting up at like I don't know what time I should leave here because I have to pick up my packet before the race, but it'll only take like 10 minutes to do that. And last year I was just standing around for forever being all weird. So maybe this year I'll get to Lincoln around 7-ish, 7, maybe 7:15, because I think registration, like late registration opens up at like 7:45 or 6:45, so I really don't need to be there first thing. Um, but so I'll probably leave here at like 6:30, 6:45, and then before I leave, I'm putting a pot roast in the crock pot so that when I get home, I'll have like time to shower and chill for a little while, and then I'll have a pot roast. And that is Ghost's favorite day of the year because we cut all the fat off of it after it's done cooking, and she just gets this huge plate of fat and juices. and then she like passes out for like 7 hours on her memory foam bed and like is just queen of the castle.
You have a memory foam bed, Ghost? You
It's
would.
like a technically a dog bed, but it is memory foam. She has 3 beds. She has the big bean bag that's her favorite, and then the memory foam is in our bedroom, and then just a regular dog bed out in the living room.
Just would work. That's funny.
But she's
Spoiled
asleep
dog.
right. She's very spoiled. She's asleep right now. She's snoring. Her ears are twitching. Dayton said, so we might be getting another dog.
What?
I know. Like Dayton's coworker has a 7-month-old pit bull that's pure like Ghost, and apparently he's like really bad. So I don't want him, which is terrible to say, but like
No,
I
it's not.
I don't want Ghost's routines to be disrupted. I don't want her space to be disrupted. Like she's happy the way she is and I'm happy with her the way she is. But Dayton's really good with dogs and like getting them to behave and getting them to learn good behaviors. And so I guess this dog like barks all the time and jumps the fence and he's just really rowdy. And so they're like, we're either going to take him to the Humane Society or if you want him, you can have him. So I think he's coming up to the shop tomorrow. Like the good news is that he's fully grown almost, but he's half Ghost size because Ghost is absolutely massive because we fed her raw meat for 6 months. Um, but like this dog is I don't know. She's like 85 pounds, so this dog's probably 40 pounds. Um, and so we'll see if we get another dog in the house. I'm sure Ghost would like it, but also when we were dog sitting for Dayton's mom a few weeks ago, they have 2 Dobermans, and like Harley's old, so she just is old. She doesn't do anything. And Maverick is like 6 months older than Ghost. And
Mhm.
Maverick is not a bad dog, but he's not a good dog. And he's like trying to get on the couch. Like I got up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and when I got back to the couch, he was laying on the couch, and they're not allowed on the couch. And he's like barking all the time, and like if he's not outside, he wants to be in. If he's outside, he wants to be inside. If he's inside, he wants to be outside. There's like no pleasing him. He like is so annoying after a while. And like even Ghost, we were there for like 30 hours and around hour like 18, like Ghost was fed up with it. She was like looking at me like I'm trying to like take a nap and this guy will not stop bothering me. So we'll see what happens because she's just so chill.
Yeah, Ghost is the best dog I've ever met.
Yeah, I think so too. I always tell people I'm like, I'm biased, but I'm also not the only one who thinks it. Like
Yeah.
she's just
And then our
so chill.
dog, like my family dog growing up, Ginger, she was such a good dog too. But
Mhm.
like she was tiny. This
Yeah.
That's the best big dog I've ever seen.
Yes.
She's such a
She's
good dog.
lazy. She's just
Yeah,
lazy and sweet.
she sleeps so much.
Yeah, I know. I think she sleeps like 20 hours a day.
That's crazy.
I know.
Like an old lady when she's not.
Exactly. Like, and she acts old too. Like, she is really lazy and she likes to manipulate people to like help her with movement as much as she can. And so Dayton said that he was out like a month ago before work, trying to get her to jump up into the truck because like he will wait for her to jump. He will not help her jump up into the truck. I don't have that patience, so she puts her front paws up into the car and then I just lift her back legs up and help her in. And so like she was taking forever and moving really slowly. Our neighbor across the way was like, "Man, she's really getting old, isn't she?" And Dayton was like, "Yep, sure is." Like she's 2. Ridiculous.
Are you good? You can go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, okay. But other than that, I don't know if you saw the note that I put in there. A little enticing catch up of Dayton's now a dad and I'm a stepmom question mark.
Oh no. What? The dog?
Nope, of a human.
What?
So we're on the couch 2 weekends ago. We're just chilling. We're playing this game where we guess the price of art and see how close we are and we get points. Whatever, not important. And he gets a call from his cousin who's like, I don't know how old she is. She's maybe like 35, 36. And she's like, hey, and I won't use any names, but like, do you know this girl? Um, well, I'll make up a name. I'll use Beth as an example, like Beth's name. Do you know this girl Beth? And Dayton was like, well, I have a cousin named Beth, and she's like, no, 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 like a girl you're not related to, who's around your age, who like maybe you hooked up with about a year and a half ago. And Dayton was like, no, definitely not. And so she's like, his cousin's like, well, I guess check your Facebook messages if you haven't in a few days, because there's like this girl who contacted me who like I distantly know who like thinks she might be the father of her child. And
What?
so I'm there for the whole thing, and I think it is hilarious. Like, because I told Dayton, I was like, there are plenty of things on the list of things I would be worried about before we get to cheating. Like, cheating is so far down on the bottom of the list, like, it's not really even there because I know he wouldn't. And so I think it's just funny. And so he goes to his messages, and sure enough, there's a message. And at first, we both were like, this might not be real. Like, this sounds like it could be somebody who maybe is trying to get money from you or like hack your account. So, like, tread
Right.
cautiously. Totally real, turned out to be real. So there was a girl, and I guess like I don't want to judge her at all. She was going through a hard time. Um, and she said she was on the dating apps around 18 months ago, and she like hooked up with a few guys, and then she ended up getting pregnant, and had a daughter in February. And she messaged Dayton because she did DNA tests on her baby, and it was like a 100% match for Dayton's family. And then she looked up on like ancestry.com, and the only person in Dayton's family around her age is Dayton that she could find. And she's like, well, you look kind of familiar, so like all this stuff. And so we're going through it, and we're like, nobody in Dayton's family does ancestry. And then we're like, okay, Dayton's grandma, Mammy, does ancestry. And then we keep thinking about it. We're like, okay, Mammy was married 4 times, and she had kids with all 4 of the husbands. And so then we were like, okay, this cousin who contacted us is from the Cherry side of the family, and that's not Dayton's part of the family, obviously, because that's not his last name. And so then we were like, okay, it actually might be Dayton's cousin, like Andrew or somebody, because he is on that part of the family. And so Dayton's DNA wouldn't even match completely that part of the family. But
Right.
eventually, like, she was basically like, do you, like, would you take 23andMe or something like that so I could, like, match your DNA and just, like, make sure, like, I don't want anything from you. I just want to have answers for my kids. And Dayton like has a problem where everything's a joke to him. And
God, here we go.
so like at first when he saw the message of like, hey, did we hook up? It would have been Tinder or Bumble about 18 months ago, all this stuff. He just responded with the emoji that's like the face. That was the And then when she said that the DNA matched his family, his response was, you 23 and me your baby, LOL.
Oh my.
And it got to a point eventually where I was like, listen, like
Be
this girl
nice.
is real and this is a weird thing, but you've gotta be nice in your last message. Like you have to be nice to this girl. And
No
so
way. This is
I
insane.
know it was such a weird turn of events for like 30 minutes that Sunday afternoon. We were both like, what is going on? But um and then of course in true Dayton fashion, right? Like he was like talking to me about it. He's like, I'll take a paternity test. That's not a problem. But what I won't do is a 23andMe because that company's going to take my saliva and use it in 60 years to clone me.
That's some shit I would have said
I
too.
know it is. I was like, I've known you long enough for that not to be a surprising thing for you to say to me, but I can't believe that throughout this entire debacle, that is your concern. Like,
Absolutely is his concern. It's
it
Abrilla's
was,
concern.
it
Because
was
who is
so
this
funny.
girl? So she's just looking for people.
Essentially. And like in the end, Dane had a really good point that I didn't even think of. He messaged her, he's like, listen, I've been in a happy relationship for almost 6 years. Like, there is absolutely no shot it's me. Like, I've never seen you before. Like, the picture that you see on my Facebook hasn't been updated since I was a senior in high school. And he doesn't look remotely like he did when he was a senior in high
Right.
school. He's like 50 pounds lighter. He used to have a shaved head, like, way different.
Right.
And so, and then he was like, if I were you, I would re-download the dating apps and look through the messages that I was sending around that time. And I was like, honestly, that is the first place you should have started. That's genius. I can't believe I didn't think of that myself. So she never responded after that, but it was crazy.
So you're not a stepmom. Whew.
I'm not really a stepmom, but no, there's now a running joke.
That
Yeah.
you could have been.
Yeah.
What's
And so
new in
Dayton's
your
like on the
world?
phone.
That's
What?
fun. I said, I'm glad that that's just crazy. That's what's new in your world, is what I said.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, it was an absolutely wild afternoon. It was great. And Dayton's like on the phone with his dad talking about it, and his dad's like, "Don't take a paternity test. Like, what is that going to solve? Like, you're good. Like, just leave it alone." And then he called Jackson and was talking to him about it, and Jackson goes, "Well, does Sarah know about it? Like, you can like break this to her, like forgetting what type of person I am for a second." And he's like, yeah, she's been sitting on the couch the whole time. She won't stop laughing. I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's funny. So
Jackson would be like, no, I'm just kidding, Jackson.
well, I think that's what Dayton said too. Or we were talking because Jackson's birthday was last week and we went out to Dave and Buster's with him and Riley. And uh they were talking about how, like, yeah, if you would have gotten that call, it would have been a
Right.
very different conversation. But yeah, that is the craziest thing that's happened in my life since last we spoke.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can't talk that crazy.
normally I can't either.
Not talk that crazy.
Yeah. Okay, you want to get into it?
Football, let's go.
All right. So the big thing that I put in from this weekend, did you watch the Texas Georgia game at all?
I didn't watch the whole game, but I was watching it.
Okay. So Texas ranked number 1 versus Georgia ranked number 5. Georgia beat them in the end. But there is this moment from the third quarter that everyone's been talking about, and me and Dayton were watching it when it happened, and it was insane. Like it was just nuts. So it's the third quarter. Texas is down by 15 points. And Georgia's on offense. They throw a ball, and Texas gets a pick. It's a clean play. There were no fouls anywhere on the play. We watched the replay like 6 times. Very clean, very well done. Texas should have the ball. The officials called pass interference on Texas. And so not only did a pick plus like 55 yards get negated, but the ball went back to Georgia. Everyone there, and it was at Texas. It was in Austin. Everyone, just like me and Dayton, had been watching the replays, and nobody could believe it when they called pass interference. And the Texas student section was so irate that one guy originally threw a beer can onto the field, just one beer can, and then everyone else saw it, and the entire student section just threw anything they could find onto the field into the end zone where they were. Whole field is trashed. The Texas head coach has to run out to the student section and tell them, like, stop. They're gonna like penalize us more if you keep doing this. Like, you have to stop right now. And so it's Texas, everybody's chivalrous. And so all the cheerleaders and the staff and everybody around gets it picked up in like 30 seconds. Everything's cleaned up again. But everyone is still screaming in the stands. Like all you can hear on the broadcast is all of the stadium like chanting bullshit for like 3 minutes. They won't stop. And then the weirdest part, and this doesn't happen in college football, is they reverse the call. So they were like, we've changed our minds. Like after further review, there's no pass interference on the play. Texas's ball at like the 30-yard line or something, which in the NFL happens. Like they can challenge that. The coaches can. But in college, that doesn't happen. It's never happened. Dayton's like, I've never seen this. I had never seen it. The announcers were like, I've never seen this.
What?
So what we think happened is that the officials that are like working up top in the booth radioed down and were like, listen, this is one of the worst calls we've ever seen ever.
So like, coach can't challenge that play?
Not in college football.
There's no defensive power. Oh, that's the offense can call a challenge in that situation if they feel like it was a personal foul and they didn't call it.
Yeah. Right. They can
challenge that, but defense cannot. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was, and so now everybody like, oh my God, after the interview, I mean, and Texas ended up losing, so it didn't really matter. But after the game, the Georgia coach was so annoying. He's like, like they had some seemingly unfair calls made tonight, and like some outside forces tried to step in and swing the ball game a certain way, and
you won. Shut up.
Right. And I'm like, also the call that got reversed, it should have been reversed because it was a terrible call to begin with. Like there was zero pass interference, and you were just mad because they took something away from you and gave it to the people who deserved it. And then in the post game press conference, he was like, we're setting a terrible precedent for college football that if you misbehave and trash a field, you'll get the call reversed. And we're like, no, I think that if it had actually been pass interference and the field had gotten trashed, they wouldn't have reversed it. They reversed it because it was such a blown call that they had no choice. So yeah, that was insane.
Texas
and then in the fourth quarter, Georgia had 2 players get ejected from the game for targeting. 2 players.
Okay, I didn't watch the game this closely.
It was, after, I don't think we were watching it very closely to begin with, but after that happened, we were like, okay, we're zoning in on this right now. And then there were 3 calls for targeting in the fourth quarter, but one of them was overruled, and they were like, no, it wasn't actually targeting, but the other 2 guys got ejected. And they were like, yep, no, that's targeting. It was bananas. It was absolutely nuts. It was such a good half. Just one of the craziest halves of football I've seen, on weird stuff. But yeah.
College I love college football.
I feel like prior to this year, I haven't, I've liked it, but I haven't been invested in it. But this year, I'm into it way more than I have been previously.
A little crazy right now.
It is nuts. The fact that Indiana is ranked higher than Alabama in football is nuts. The fact that Indiana is undefeated and Alabama has at least 1 defeat, maybe 2 at this point, insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't and then Nebraska rolls into Indiana and everybody's like, oh, this is going to be a big test for the Hooters.
In white uniforms. Oh, what are you doing? Their white uniforms they don't have the best of luck. I don't know. That's
true.
Before, but
yeah, they got destroyed. They got absolutely steamrolled.
Now they have to go into Ohio State this weekend.
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna lose again.
Definitely.
And then do we play Oregon?
I don't know.
Because Oregon's in the Big Ten now. If we play Oregon
at a time.
Yeah.
I have no idea. won't know until I hear about it next week, unless I look it up.
Yeah,
But
she's resituating. She's like, I hate this thing. Oh,
the
she's
chair, I'm surprised
yeah.
she's up there. If you don't
I
like
kind of
it,
forced her up there. She doesn't like it
okay.
because she needs the chair to be about twice as big as it is.
UCLA, they play UCLA
Okay.
next. But
Okay.
yeah, college football.
Absolutely wild. So I'm excited for this weekend to see what happens. Notre Dame's playing Navy this week. Navy is undefeated, and so is Army. This is the first time that Navy and Army have been ranked at the same time since like the 60s,
And they're both undefeated, and they're
and they're
playing each
both undefeated.
other.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's going to be a good game to tune into.
I think so too. I think this weekend's gonna be a really good game. I think that because Navy and Army play each other soon? Question mark. But that one's gonna be crazy.
Oh, they're not playing each other this weekend?
No, Notre Dame and Navy are this
Oh,
weekend.
Notre Dame and Navy. My bad.
And then Notre Dame plays Army at the end of the season.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so the rankings are all over the place right now. Texas isn't number one anymore. I don't know who's number one because I didn't look anything up prior to tonight. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. Once the half marathon's over, I'll be maybe a little bit more focused because that's all I can think about all the time right now.
Yeah. Mine's a new job. I got to get into my routine of it.
Yeah.
The basketball schedule. And I am the mother of a vice president of student council.
What?
Yes. So
I'm
that's
so proud of her. Not her like on the first day of school. Did you tell or did she tell you that I texted her on the first day of school and I was like, "Happy first day!" and like, "Are you
Who, Avery?
excited?" Yeah,
This is Azena, but
Azena.
yeah, she's in student council. She got vice president too.
I feel like this year she's really kind of like blooming.
Yeah.
Like it took her a minute. Like I know she's always liked her school since you guys moved her there, but like I feel like it's taken her a minute to kind of just blossom and come out of her shell and like get involved. But this year I feel like she's got cheer. Is she still
She,
doing flag football?
well, that was a camp. So
Okay.
she's flag football in the spring. But so she's in the middle of cheer. It's still going on.
Okay.
She's playing the flute. She's in student council and she's playing basketball all right now.
Oh, that girl busy. I bet she's exhausted.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up.
Yeah, because you got that plus what like I mean, it's lucky that Aspen stuff is more focused in the spring and summer.
Yeah.
And because like
But we
what
can't get in the
is
gym. I gotta find time to get them in the gym.
yeah. Is she gonna do winter training again this year?
Probably not. No, I don't think so. But we're
Okay.
gonna get in the gym and just do our own like kind of training.
Yeah, that works.
I gotta
I
get them
mean,
back in there.
it's all about schedule.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like I can only take on so much at once, and then usually one gets over and I can start the next one. No,
yeah.
somebody wants to just keep going. No, I'm just kidding.
Somebody's really involved.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
girl.
I love that. Can you hear her snoring?
No, I can't.
Okay. She's out like a light.
Her eyes look
Things.
open. From this point of view, her eyes look open.
Maybe she's breathing real heavily. They're a little open. She's smiling.
Hey, ghost.
Dayton said that the other night. He's like, one of the reasons that I'm considering getting this dog is because he seems like more hyper than Ghost is. Obviously, it's very easy to do.
Is it a
But
boy?
he's like, is it a puppy?
Yeah. No, it's a boy or girl dog.
Oh, it's a boy.
Keep him away from ghost.
Well, he's neutered, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ghost is the only one in the situation that still needs to be fixed. Miss,
I
I
have to
get
say,
figured
otherwise
it
you're gonna
every
be
six
dealing with
months.
puppies.
Uh, absolutely not. But Dayton said the other night, like, because this week for some reason he's just wanted to stay up so late, and like I normally we both agree we go to bed at like 10:30 or within like 15 minutes of that.
Mhm.
But this week I've been falling asleep at like 9 and he's been staying up until like 11:15. And so like 10:30 rolls around and I'll still go to bed. But he said that the other night he came into bed and Ghost was in the room with me, sleeping on her memory foam bed. And he's like, and you know what happened? I walked in the door, I was loud, and Mom stayed asleep, and Ghost snored through the whole thing. Like, yeah, she is objectively a horrendous guard dog. Like, when she's asleep, nothing's getting her up. Like it takes me because her routine is she'll like go to bed in her beanbag at like 7:30 or 8, and then she'll sleep there for a couple hours before we go to bed all together. And when I like am getting ready for bed, I'll like start brushing my teeth and then I'll walk into my office to try to get her out of the beanbag because it takes forever. Like I have to stand in the beanbag and wedge my legs underneath her and just like wiggle around until she'll get up and like stretch and like slowly make her way out of the room.
The
She's a
laziest dog.
nightmare. She's such a nightmare when it comes to getting up. You cannot tell me you don't hear this.
No, I don't hear it.
She's so loud.
Do not hear her.
I know this is gonna show up on the audio. I know it's gonna think she's so loud.
And it could be because I have background noise in my
Fair.
house that I can hear. But yeah.
Well, when you listen tomorrow afternoon, like skip to however far in, like what is this? Probably like 35 minutes in. You'll hear it. Okay, back to business. The Chiefs are now the only remaining undefeated team because Minnesota got beat by Detroit 31-29. If they're gonna get beat by anyone, like yeah, I'm not mad about them getting beat by Detroit. Like no problems there. I do, however, like I do like you because you watched the game. I didn't watch the Chiefs game this week because it was out of network on NFL Plus and it was on Fox, and we don't have the Fox Sports like app, so I couldn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. I watched videos of
Okay.
like I caught up on TikTok and
Okay. Because like you were telling, can you explain to me this? Like I saw the video, but I didn't fully understand the context of like the helmet slapping thing.
oh yeah, and who was it? Because
It was
I
somebody who's not like a big person on the team. Mooney.
okay, so I'm sorry, I should have been caught up on this. Okay, Cook, I don't know his first name, on
Okay.
the Kansas City Chiefs
Okay.
was getting, did you see that video I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so he smacked a 49ers helmet and Trent Williams, it was Trent Williams, and he
Okay.
turned around and smacked him back across the head. Like it was so uncalled for. The first hit was so uncalled for. And Trent Williams got ejected from the game or whatever they do. Is it
Yeah.
ejected? Yeah, ejected
Yeah.
from the game. He couldn't
What?
play anymore.
Is he suspended? Oh, is he suspended for the next
That's
game
what I
too?
had asked you. Yeah, is he suspended? I don't know if I asked you that or not. If he's
I
going to
think.
be suspended for the next week, or
Yeah,
you
I
said he
think
might
that's
be
what we.
suspended for a game
Yeah.
for getting his get back. But at what point do you just let people hit you across the head? I don't care who you are.
Right. Like I don't blame
Especially
him.
right
Like
playing football, you don't
right.
do that.
Like I don't. And like if you're gonna do that to him, you should be doing that to Cook as well. That's who you said it was, Cook for the Chiefs?
Yeah, he did it first, and he's the one who didn't get ejected.
Which I don't like. Like this is what I hate right now because I want if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, I want there to be absolutely zero logical, factual room for the haters to be like, well, you didn't deserve to be here because of this, this, and this, and to be able to dispute all of that. And at this point, I'm like, I can't because they are like stuff like this is happening and I don't like it. I don't want it. Like, if they like mess up and it costs us the game, then they mess up and it costs us the game. But I would much rather lose a game than like have people bring evidence to me to be like, the refs like should have called this or they
Right.
shouldn't have called this and it went in the Chiefs' favor and it happened multiple times and that's why they won the game. Be like,
It's like they're cheating in a way, you know?
right,
Or other teams are being cheated. I don't want to call the Chiefs cheaters, but
right,
it's like the other teams are being cheated on
right.
certain things. And it's not okay.
No, I do not like it at all because like this is one of the reasons that people hated the Patriots. Like I hated the Patriots during the Patriots dynasty, so I can't sit here when the Chiefs are finally getting their flowers and be like, "Well, I don't get it. Like you should have respect for the Chiefs." Like, no, I get it. Like I hated the Patriots. I get why you hate the Chiefs, but like this stuff, it doesn't make me hate the Chiefs. Like nothing could ever make me hate the Chiefs. But like it does make me frustrated because I want to feel like there is zero dispute in the absolute fact that we deserve the rewards we're getting, you
Right.
know? And so
I
that's
really hope
frustrating.
Andy Reid does something about it.
I
I don't
hope
think
so
you
too.
should let him play next week. Make
I
him
would
sit out the
agree.
game. Make it
Yeah, I think
it's uncalled for. That is so uncalled for.
like I don't get like I get that it was from everything I saw, it was a really tense game, the whole game, because like the Niners and the Chiefs are kind of like this newish rivalry
Right.
because they've been to the Super Bowl together a few times and like they've played more often in the past few years. So like I get that there's higher tensions than there previously were, but like I don't know.
You're playing on a professional level. People are looking up to you. You're gonna
Yeah,
make like there is emotions involved. I get that. But there's just certain things that are uncalled for. And that's one
exactly.
of them.
Like you're unprovoked just slapping somebody's helmet for what?
Right. And he was getting up and he slapped him down. Like,
Like
what?
what is the point? Like are you trying to assert
So
your dominance?
disrespectful. He's lucky
Right.
all he got back was the same kind of hit. It might have been a
Yeah.
little harder. He might have swung a little bit harder, but you probably deserved a little bit more.
I was gonna say, yeah, I would assume it was probably a little harder because it was like retaliation or
Right.
like a don't do that. Cause like I don't know if he's like trying to be dominant or trying to put him down or trying to get into his head, but either way, it's just like it's little boy behavior and
Mm,
you are a grown adult professional on like the biggest stage in the world.
right.
So it's
You're getting
annoying.
paid too much to act like that at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. Way too much to act like that. It's just so annoying.
Mm.
But on the other end too, have you seen Patrick Mahomes? He got punched in the throat.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
see
he
that.
got like he got like a windpipe chop while he was
Ugh.
passing the ball. Um, and
They took
messed
coming
up
for his
and
neck to a whole nother level.
I know. So like I don't know if he got a call on that because again I couldn't watch the game, but like I think everyone the whole entire game was just like kind of being reckless and like they both had really important people that were out. Like the 49ers have been hit so hard by the Madden curse this year, like it's horrible. Like Kittle has a foot injury, McCaffrey has an injury. I feel like it's not Achilles, but it's something big. Debo Samuel was out like sick. They had the guy who got shot. Oh, McCaffrey was his hand. He broke his hand in the preseason and then got surgery. Like, and then everybody who's out on the offense for the Chiefs, like, yeah, it's rampant. Just everybody's going down. Are you still undefeated in fantasy?
No,
Dang.
I'm not.
Shucks.
Oh well.
Gotta get the first loss out of the way.
Yes.
But Chiefs acquired DeAndre Hopkins this week, which is awesome because again, a player got injured on the Chiefs this week. Juju Smith-Schuster got injured. So now we're bringing in another person. We got DeAndre Hopkins from the Titans, which should be hopefully really good. And then I saw something today that was suggesting that like Tyreek Hill is trying to get traded. And like Chiefs fans are like, we want him back. I don't want Tyreek back.
You don't?
Personally, I do not want him back. He can go somewhere else and do his thing. We're good without him. Like, I'm good. Like he's great. He's
Right? He's
insane.
falling apart.
Right.
Um, Braxton Berrios tore his ACL. He's done
Oh,
for the season.
everybody is just I don't know what's going on this year in the NFL. Just people are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Did you
And
see
then they
though
go
who
out
said
here
that?
and do the stupid stuff, hitting each other across the head.
Yep, like
God,
we just can't have anything nice in the NFL this year. Did you see who's coming back though? Who said I'm coming back in like 2 weeks?
no.
Tua.
Yeah, he said he will die over football or whatever. He's gonna play football.
He's going to. He
Whatever.
is going to die.
Literally. His
Like
CTE so bad.
I
Who's
like
a
I don't know if he can withstand another hit. I think he gets hit in the head 2 or 3 more times and he's actually going to die.
I just hope it's not on the football field.
I know. We've already been there and done that with DeMar Hamlin. Like, thankfully, he's alive and he's the reason that Tua is on IR now,
Do you think he'll
ironically.
come back and wear the helmet? What is it?
I think, I mean, I don't think they can force him to, but I do think that they should say, like, if you don't wear the Guardian helmet, you can't
Guardian. That's what it
start.
is.
Yeah. Like, if you either wear the Guardian helmet or you're benched, essentially.
Hmm.
Dude, she is running in her sleep. Her face is twitching. She's snoring so
I
loud.
can see her twitching.
She's chasing something. Uh, Other notable NFL things I saw from this weekend, DK Metcalf, who's just like, he's such a tank. I think he's put on a little weight, but like, or as by weight, I mean like body fat. But I remember in like 2021, the big thing was that they measured DK Metcalf's body fat and he had 2% body fat, which
Wow.
is not only unhealthy, but also just insane. But he like made a one-armed block, which was so funny to watch. He like grabbed a guy with 2 arms, right, and then just extended one arm and the other one fell to his side and the guy couldn't move and he was just holding his arm there and like he's such a tank. I love DK Metcalf. And then the last NFL related thing that everybody's speculating on, Aaron Rodgers is done. Aaron Rodgers is over.
He's been done.
Oh my god, he's so washed up. At this point last year, the Jets had a better record with Zach Wilson. Like,
Why doesn't he just retire? Like, just go. Be
I
done.
don't know.
You had your era. Accept that. Why is
Right.
it so hard for him to accept?
Like Brady knew when to retire. You should have retired.
Barely, but yeah.
Right, right. I think Aaron Rodgers should have retired like 4 years ago. Would have been a good time, 3 or 4. Like he should have never gone to the Jets, essentially.
No.
So stupid. And now they're like, basically, if you look at it, it's like the 2024 offensive Jets are essentially like the 2018 offensive Packers. And so they're like rebuilding the old Packers around Aaron Rodgers. But the problem is that it's been like 7 years and those guys are all older and like it's not working. Clearly it's not working. Like Devontae Adams went to the Jets, they lost immediately. Like it's Aaron Rodgers needs to stop.
I agree.
They all kind of need to stop. Ugh. I wanted to throw in some quick other sports. So like Bronny James and LeBron played opening night of the NBA this week and they are like obviously they're both playing, so it's a father-son duo, and oh, good morning. They put up it's like the most points put up by a father-son duo in a game ever, and all of them came from LeBron. Bronny had 0 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists, and he played for like 2 minutes total.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Congratulations, LeBron and Bronny. Did you see LeBron filled his car with fruity pebbles
Why?
as like a prank, because he's new to the team.
He's
He like
hazing the
filled it,
freshmen.
yeah. He filled his car completely with fruity pebbles and he opened the door and they like came pouring out.
That's hilarious.
I did enjoy that. But
I
I'm
don't
not I I am not the biggest LeBron fan.
I just don't really give a shit about the NBA.
Me neither.
Like it's not my thing. I'd
It
rather
comes
watch
down to the
volleyball.
playoffs. I mean, I enjoy watching it, but
Yeah.
everybody has a storyline. I get it. I get he does great things.
Mhm.
His style of basketball is just not for me, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I like obviously who doesn't enjoy watching Caitlin Clark play? She's amazing. But I loved watching like honestly my style of basketball if I had to watch is March Madness basketball just because everybody's so hungry for it. It's
Yeah.
like how the best month of football is January because it's the playoffs and everybody's so hungry to get to the Super Bowl. Everybody's playing like crazy. Like that's what March Madness that's the type of sports that I like to play is when everybody's hungry and I feel like you only get that at certain points in time and like for some reason basketball just like NBA doesn't like grab me.
And the NBA season is so long.
Oh my god, yeah. What is it? Like the end of October it just started and it's going to go until freaking
After March Madness.
yeah, like April or May. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
I
It's
just
way too long.
yeah.
I don't.
So to like
Um
get into it this early, I have
no.
my favorite players to watch. I do.
Yeah,
To watch
sure.
out for or to watch their plays, but LeBron's not one of them. And the Lakers is not a team that I look out for.
No. I've heard like the Celtics are really good, so my ears kind of to the ground for the Celtics to see if
Yeah.
they do anything. I heard they like had the biggest scoring opening night in like 60 years this week, which is cool, so that might be fun. But like, yeah.
I'm a fan of Jason Tatum and the Celtics.
Yeah.
They have a good team.
It so we'll see. We'll see. Did you see the rumors about Caitlin Clark leaving the NBA and going to Europe?
No, but I read it and that's all I keep thinking about. What? Why does she want to go to
So
Europe? Is this a rumor?
I
Or
don't think it's real,
okay.
but I saw an article and I saw one article and then never saw anything else about it. And that's why I don't think it's real. It would be huge news if it was. But basically, it was an article saying like Caitlin Clark has been maligned and mistreated by the WNBA since she stepped foot into it, which is true. Like she's been treated horribly this first season in the NBA. Like people have been awful to her, and she's really just taken it on the chin. But essentially, they were like, and so she's going to play ball in Europe instead because they're going to treat her better. I'm like, I don't think she would, first of all, because like who wants to go from the WNBA to play in Europe, first of all?
Right.
And second of all,
I
like
think she's
she's
kind of built
taken
for
it.
this. I think she likes to overcome it. Like
I I think she likes a challenge. She likes to have to prove herself.
mhm. I think it sparks a little fire under her ass.
Right.
Seriously.
I think
Like
so
I
too.
don't give a damn if you guys don't like me.
Right. Right.
Think
I'm
she
here
has
to play
that.
ball.
And I do think the media pushes it more, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like the hate. But even the players have been treating her
The
very
players have been the worst
poorly.
part.
Yeah,
Players have been awful.
yeah, they
Like
have.
she's getting knocked down constantly. And like
Especially, and then like even at the beginning of the season, I felt like it was even her own team. Just, I don't know.
yeah, she was kind of like outcast a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I saw that too. Like
and
the
to make her way
videos of
in, she's got to break through. She
yeah,
will.
yeah, I mean, she didn't show up to Iowa day one of her freshman year as like a beloved star, but by the time she
Right.
graduated, she was the it girl. So it just takes some time. She's not Asia Wilson. Like, she'll get there.
It's Caitlin Clark.
She's Caitlin Clark.
Everything is so comparable when it comes to sports. Like, well, they're better than this. And it's like there's so many greats, especially when it comes to basketball. Think how many people play basketball. There are
Yeah.
so many. It goes from the NBA, and then there's teams under that, down to recreational. Like
Hmm.
basketball, there's so many greats, and just let them be great how they are
Right.
being.
Yeah, just let them like have fun and do their thing. Like, I feel like basketball is one of I think soccer is the most played sport around the world because it's such a global sport, but like in America, I feel like basketball is probably the most played sport.
Yeah,
Like,
I would agree.
everyone hoops or
Hmm.
everyone has at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Like, I played basketball. I was terrible, but like I loved it and it was fun. And like you can play it anywhere, and like you can find things that you're great at no matter who you are, and like it is a fun. I did like playing basketball, or like it is fun for sure. Like, hell, Adam Sandler's great at basketball. Like,
Very well played.
yeah. And then I think the last thing I had, yeah, the last thing I had, which isn't on there, but for some reason it left, is that the World Series is going on. We got the Yankees versus the Dodgers, so LA versus New York City, a classic rivalry.
Yes.
Uh, Shohei Ohtani showing up
I don't
because
follow.
okay, so Shohei
Well,
Ohtani is, I don't know what position he plays. I think he might be a center fielder, but he's insane at bat. And he has the largest ever contract in the MLB. It's like
okay.
six, I don't know, $6 million a year, might be $60 million a year, $600 million a year. It might be 600 million. I don't know. It's a lot. He plays for the Dodgers. So LA has a lot of money. But he is the first baseball player in history to, this year he hit a 50-50, which means that he in the baseball season hit 50 home runs and stole 50 bases.
Wow.
Yeah, so he is very good. Highest paid player in history. This is like his seventh year in the MLB, but his first year with the Dodgers, and they're going to the World Series. And it's cool because like he's all the rage, and then it's kind of like full circle because the Yankees head coach for the last maybe 2 years has been Derek Jeter, which is like so cool to see him in a coaching position now, and like things have really come full circle, it feels like. But I would personally, I think I'd rather see the Dodgers win than the Yankees, just because like growing up I was very into baseball because my mom's side of the family is super into baseball. Um, but we were big Cubs fans, but for some reason it was like the most hated teams for us. It goes St. Louis Cardinals, and then real close right under it Chicago White Sox, and then close under that is New York Yankees. And then everybody else, like, Milwaukee Brewers we don't really like either, but like everybody else is whatever. So we'll see.
Don't be a Yankees hater. I love my New
Listen,
York Yankee hats. I always keep a Yankees hat on.
I got my Cubs hat locked and ready to go. My 2016 World Series championships. I went to the parade when they won the World Series because it had been like 108 years since they won. It was like the big curse, and they broke it, and it
Yawn.
was
Sorry.
amazing, and they won, and me and like four or five friends got in a car 2 days later and drove to Chicago. And one of my friends lived in like her parents lived in Chicago, so we stayed at her parents' house and we went to the World Series parade. It was awesome, but it was horrible at the same time because there were 5.5 million people in the streets of Chicago for it. It was the sixth largest gathering of people in human history.
That's way too many people.
It that was the worst part. It was like so much fun, but it was also awful. It took us an hour and a half to walk 2 blocks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Walk?
just to walk 2 blocks, like from where we were standing at the parade route to the Giordano's where we were getting
How far
pizza.
did you have to park away? 5.5
We
million
took the
people.
train in.
Right. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
like her parents live in Woodstock, Illinois, which is like 45 minutes outside of Chicago. So we parked the car at the train station and took the train in, and the train was packed. But it was also fun because like everybody's drinking on the train and you're not allowed to, but nobody cares because everybody's so happy that this 108-year-old curse has been broken. It was such a fun day. And now I don't talk to any of those people anymore.
Oops.
One of them I don't talk to just because like we grew apart, but I still have lots of love for her. And the other uh three people I was with were just connected to one of the girls that I don't talk to anymore for specific reasons.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's baseball. That's the World Series. And we'll know soon enough because it's going on right now. So, you ready to call it for the night?
Yeah, I
All
am.
right. Well, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with us and listening to us drone on and putting up with.
Oh,
I'm sure that in the recording you're going to be able to hear Ghost snoring, so thanks for putting up for that. I think she's finally like found a comfortable spot for herself now that I'm about to kick her off the chair. But if you have any questions in the coming weekend and you want some answers from us about what's going on in NCAA football or NFL or the World Series or anything like that, just go ahead and DM our Instagram page at Powderpuff Pod. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Powderpuff_pod, or email us at powderpuffsportspod@gmail.com. But thanks for tuning in to Powderpuff, the sports podcast by the girls for the girls. We'll have content out every Friday around midday for you. And provide some conversation to help you gain your footing as a football fan. And then later in the year, we'll talk, March Madness, UFC, all the good stuff.
we haven't had a good UFC fight. There's one
Not
coming
since
up.
Sean.
There was one coming up, I think.
I think you're right. I just couldn't tell you who it is. My brain's dead.
Yeah, mine is too. So while you're here, go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and send this episode to your favorite sports fan, football fan, any kind of fan.
All the above.
All of the
Thanks for
above.
tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.